And what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending the team, or how do you view just how it goes?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
That's not the game, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball. Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull in the second half, Caitlin, in
We're
particular?
going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's
That's
go!
pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again, in the second half?
What if we told you Caitlin Clark might actually leave the WNBA after just one season? Yeah, imagine her packing up, hitting one last three-pointer, and walking away. With referees missing obvious calls and players like Marina Mabrey throwing fouls like it's dodgeball, Caitlin seems to have had enough. Is this supposed to be the League of Dreams or a reality show gone wild? Grab your popcorn, because if this rumor turns out to be true, the WNBA could lose its biggest star faster than a ref misses a foul call.
NBA record. This is her second season. And you put the numbers together, that's like 10 seasons. That girl did it in 10 seasons. That means she had won a season. Caitlin Clark is... when Caitlin Clark gets to 10 seasons, she's going to have 100 of these. And y'all can't get a girl her roses. Now, I don't like the fact that she be getting woke because she don't want all these lesbians to be mad at it. At the end of the day, is the woman putting in the work, she's putting in the work.
Its official fans are done watching Caitlin Clark play the role of a sacrifice for a league that can't decide whether it wants to grow or keep people out. For the second season in a row, she's been the main character in a drama that expects her to do everything: pass the ball, smile for the cameras, sell tickets, take the hits, and still thank her critics afterward. Fans aren't just upset anymore, they're angry. The Protect Caitlin movement has grown from a few online posts into a full-blown emotional battle between her supporters and a league that keeps treating her like she doesn't matter.
This is all going according to plan. This is ideal. Caitlin Clark is holding up her end by being awesome and by being a trash-talking jerk on the court. Love it. Her teammates are holding up their end by having her back. The other players in the league are holding up their end by not liking her. Perfect. Couldn't have written a better script. Caitlin is talking trash to this girl's hard fouling her. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who got a black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 6, she's like, I will F you guys up. All of it's great, and Caitlin's a killer. 10 out of 10. No.
Let's be honest, Caitlin Clark is the main reason people even talk about the WNBA outside of random Twitter debates or old gym highlights. TV ratings are up, her jersey sales are breaking records, and arenas are selling out in cities that barely knew they had a team. She's the face, the energy, and the lifeline of the league. And how does the WNBA repay her? With unfair referee calls, teammates giving her the cold shoulder, and more elbows flying her way than in a WWE match.
Caitlin Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a complete different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah. Let's be honest, Caitlin Clark is the main reason people even talk about the WNBA outside of random Twitter debates or old gym highlights. TV ratings are up, her jersey sales are breaking records, and arenas are selling out in cities that barely knew they had a team. She's the face, the energy, and the lifeline of the league. And how does the WNBA repay her? With unfair referee calls, teammates giving her the cold shoulder, and more elbows flying her way than in a WWE match. Let's start with the obvious. Caitlin Clark is the reason anyone even talks about the WNBA outside of small Twitter debates or old-school gym memories. The numbers prove it. Ratings are up, her jerseys are selling out, and arenas are packed in cities that didn't even realize they had a team. She's the heartbeat of the league, the walking, talking, three-point shooting face of the WNBA. And what does she get in return? Shady referee calls, distant teammates, and more rough hits than a WWE Royal Rumble.
Well, I will say this, when Caitlin Clark was out, they lost 55% of their viewership. So, basically, Caitlin Clark is paying all their salaries.
Pretty much.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can hate her as much as you want, but she's brought in millions of fucking dollars. So you should be kissing her ass.
And that kind of defeated the purpose of Angel Reese's argument of she's like, hey, it's not just Caitlin Clark that is bringing all the viewership to the WNBA. It's like, well, it definitely is. It's like it kind of proved that with the viewership rating being down that she significantly increases viewership.
They try so hard to compare her to Caitlin Clark. They try. So
The refs stay silent, and the league seems more focused on dress codes than player safety. It feels like the whole system has lost its mind. Now fans aren't just wondering if Caitlin Clark should stay, they're begging her to leave. Imagine her signing a big shoe deal, joining a broadcast team, or heading to Europe, where basketball is just basketball, not a constant test of how much one player can take before breaking down. Over there, she'd get paid well, protected, and probably greeted with flowers instead of elbows. Let's be real, the WNBA has turned Caitlin into a content machine, feeding her the same nonsense every week, unfair calls, pointless drama, and zero support. Fans see it. The media sees it. Even the people who claim not to like her secretly check the schedule to see when she's playing, because love her or not, she's the main attraction. But no one wants to watch the star get sabotaged in every episode. She's done more for the league in 2 seasons than some franchises have done in 20 years. And yet, she's treated like a guest at her own party. Even the league promos sound off, come watch Caitlin Clark, and the others. It's like she's Beyoncé, and the rest of the WNBA is a confused Destiny's Child. No hate, just facts.
Fever and Sun hold a brawl and a basketball game breaks out. This was something. Caitlin Clark, without question, gets raked across the face. I think she gets poked in the eye, but it's difficult to tell.
If you're the Indiana Fever, you cannot stand by and let that happen. They need to make it clear to the officials. If you're going to let this happen, then we're going to stand up for our player and make a mess of the game, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So you need to stand up for this. You need to do something about this.
You just learned with definitive data and beyond question that Caitlin Clark controls more than half the audience for the entire WNBA.
And let's not forget the constant gaslighting, people saying things like, it's not that bad, or she's just being dramatic, or she needs to earn her stripes. Oh really? Because at this point, she's earned more stripes than a zebra in a barcode factory. She's putting up 25 points, 8 assists, and about 12 microaggressions a game and still doing it with a smile. What else do they expect her to do? Levitate? Fans aren't blind. They see the double standards. They see how the league protects some players while throwing others under the bus. They see the fake storylines, awkward interviews, and messy locker room politics, and they're tired. They're tired of watching Caitlin fight for respect on a team she helped build. They're tired of seeing her snubbed from all-star votes like it's some middle school popularity contest. They're tired of pretending everything's fine, that if she leaves after this season, it won't be because she couldn't handle it, it'll be because she's smart enough to know when she's being played. And honestly, walking away might be the biggest power move of all. The league that built its buzz around her name would suddenly have to face silence, no packed arenas, no record-breaking streams, and no casual fans tuning in just to see what Caitlin Clark does next.
A lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
What happens then? The league will probably try to patch things up with cheap tricks, bobblehead giveaways, 2-for-1 ticket deals, and motivational quotes painted on the court. But let's be real, fans won't forget. The moment Caitlin Clark walks away, the WNBA risks fading back into a trivia question. Hey, remember that league that had that superstar for a while? Whatever happened to them? And to those saying she should stay and tough it out, she already has. She's endured media backlash, rough on-court treatment, refs who seem blind to fouls, and players more focused on blocking her success than winning games. At some point, it's not about toughness anymore, it's about self-respect. What's even more shocking is how the league still hasn't realized what it has. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, relatable, marketable, and still humble despite being treated like a punching bag. You'd think the WNBA would be celebrating her, giving her top endorsements, rolling out red carpets, and creating real marketing campaigns, not ones that look like they were made in 2003. But instead, it's just more shade, more hits, and more wasted chances. Fans have had enough. They're not just watching games anymore, they're watching out for her. They're posting clips, calling out the league, and defending her like unpaid interns in her PR department. And if Caitlin decides to walk away after this season, she won't be leaving alone. She'll take millions of loyal fans with her, the ones who buy tickets, stream every game, wear her merch, and cheer every single time she touches the ball.
I am sick and tired of the way they are treating my girl, Caitlin Clark. I am here to propose a solution. I think they need an enforcer. You know, someone who comes off the bench to kind of lay the smack down on an opposing team member. I want to get the word out to the Indiana Fever that I am available. I'm ready to identify as whatever I need to in order to get the job. They need someone like me. Why? Because I'm not afraid of any 6-foot tall lesbian. I work out. Now, I have a couple of real good go-to moves in my bag of tricks.
If the WNBA wants to keep Caitlin Clark, they need to start showing it, because right now, they're acting like an ungrateful roommate who doesn't realize how good they have it. Fans, on the other hand, are ready to help her pack, drive her to the airport, and cheer as she boards a plane to anywhere that actually respects her talent. In a league desperate for attention, Caitlin was the full-course meal, but if all she gets in return are crumbs and chaos, no one should be surprised when she decides she's had enough. And just when you think things can't get any more ridiculous, here come the ESPN think pieces. Commentators are twisting themselves into knots trying to explain why Caitlin Clark getting shoved like she owed Marina Mabrey lunch money is somehow her fault. Seriously? Since when is talking a little trash in a professional sport a reason to get thrown across the court like a gym towel? Forget the shove. Forget that Caitlin didn't fight back, didn't throw a punch, didn't even flinch. She handled it like the picture of composure, stayed focused, kept playing, and let her game do the talking. Meanwhile, ESPN analysts are out here acting like detectives, claiming they've solved the mystery because she once smirked after draining a deep three-pointer. She brought it on herself, they say, as if she asked to be body slammed in the middle of a basketball game.
Well, we'll get into it a bit here. Lexi Holdout gets it. Holding space, Caitlin hits the tip. Shane and Cunningham are getting it. Caitlin Clark with a few words with Jason Shaw.
Here's a wild idea, maybe, just maybe, talking trash is part of the game. News flash, this is sports, not Sunday brunch. If you're not talking a little, you're not competing. Michael Jordan did it. Kobe Bryant thrived on it. Larry Bird practically turned it into an art form. But when Caitlin Clark does it, suddenly, it's treated like a green light for players to ditch basketball and turn into MMA fighters. Even some of her rivals, players who would love nothing more than to beat her on the court, have come out and said, yeah, that shove was way out of line. These aren't her fans or teammates. They're competitors who understand the difference between tough basketball and outright cheap shots. And somehow, they're showing more common sense than half the analysts who act like experts despite never having touched a basketball. Let's be honest, if Caitlin had even thought about pushing back, every sports network would have exploded. You'd see headlines everywhere, out of control rookie finally snaps. There'd probably even be a Lifetime movie about it. But she didn't. She stayed calm, stayed classy, and didn't take the bait. She focused on basketball, not drama. And still, somehow, they blamed her for getting shoved. It's like blaming a mailbox for getting hit by a reckless driver. Well, it was standing a little too confidently on the curb.
Caitlin Clark has decided to quit the WNBA and move on and go play over in Europe. I do not blame her. I applaud it. I say do it. Get as far away from the WNBA as you can. Let that league sink. Okay? Do not help them, Caitlin. Get away. I believe you could create your own league. Okay? You could be the fucking player that creates whatever, the next professional women's basketball league. Let this one just go and let Caitlin try to build the next WNBA.
Mental gymnastics going on here could win an Olympic gold medal. She's too confident, they say. She plays with attitude. Well, of course she does, so has every great athlete in history. That confidence is what makes them elite. But when it's Caitlin Clark, suddenly her confidence becomes a problem. In some bizarre, twisted version of WNBA logic, she's supposed to take the hits, take the blame, and stay silent all at the same time. It's almost impressive how fast the blame gets spun back toward her. It's like there's an invisible committee sitting around brainstorming new ways to twist the story. Marina Mabrey delivers a full-body shove, Caitlin keeps her cool, and somehow she's the villain. What's next? Someone elbows her in the face and ESPN runs a segment called "Did Caitlin Lean Into It?" You can practically hear the hot takes forming. Was her posture too confident? Did her shoelaces send the wrong message? Meanwhile, Mabrey's getting more protection than a Feyberg egg. People are bending over backward to justify her actions like she's some misunderstood poet instead of an adult who just shoved another player. And it's not just the analysts, it's the tone of everything. The passive-aggressive headlines, the soft, watered-down commentary that sounds less like sports analysis and more like a PR statement written by someone who once saw a basketball and panicked.
I get your opinion because it's been a minute on this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark stuff that's been going on. Brittany Griner a couple of weeks ago in a video says trash effing white girl when she was playing Caitlin Clark. What's your just kind of 30,000-foot view of this?
There is not an organization more dedicated and committed to self-imploding than the WNBA. The WNBA was like handed the golden egg that is Caitlin Clark. Yeah. And they have done everything to just self-destruct. Yeah. Whether it's these totally crazy like racial investigations that have been proven a hoax.
You know what really has fans furious? The fact that Caitlin Clark has never once asked for special treatment. She didn't go on a media tour. She didn't complain. She didn't throw shade or make excuses. She just keeps playing game after game, taking the hits, staying professional, and doing her job while everyone else turns her story into a soap opera where the villain is somehow the woman averaging 25 points a night and keeping the league alive. Here's the simple truth. If Caitlin had been the one to throw that shove, she would have been ejected on the spot, suspended, and dragged through every sports headline as what's wrong with the WNBA. But because she didn't react, because she stayed calm, somehow she's still treated like she's in the wrong. Apparently, the real issue is that she's not smiling enough while being shoved around at midcourt. Fans aren't stupid. They see the hypocrisy. They see the double standards stacking up like bricks in a bad reality show set, one set of rules for Caitlin, and another for everyone else. One for the star who brings in the money, the viewers, and the attention, yet somehow still isn't worth defending. And through it all, she keeps showing up. Keeps playing. Keeps representing the game better than anyone else. It's enough to make fans' blood boil because the league has a once-in-a-generation talent right in front of them, someone who sells out arenas and inspires the next wave of players, and instead of celebrating her, they're treating her like a punching bag.
Caitlin Clark did her thing. Coming off of the injury, she returned for the Fever, and I swear I am not being hyperbolic. We were immediately gifted one of the greatest halves we have ever seen in the WNBA, and I say that with all context involved. This series from Caitlin Clark, the pull-up three here, and you are about to see back-to-back-to-back triples for Caitlin Clark in this game. I am not trying to erase the things we have seen from Maya Moore, from Diana Taurasi, A'ja Wilson's 53-point game, Stewie, Cynthia Cooper. Like, we have seen incredible halves of basketball, but you see Caitlin Clark coming off of that made three from the Liberty. Pull up, of course. She's making it in that moment.
And when she doesn't react, when she stays calm and handles everything with grace, they still find a way to make her the problem. At this point, they'd probably blame her for global warming if it meant getting a few more seconds of airtime. So when fans say they want Caitlin Clark to leave the WNBA, it's not because they don't want her to succeed, it's because they want her to survive. They want her somewhere she can actually thrive, where she's respected for what she brings instead of being turned into the scapegoat for everyone else's insecurities. They want her in a place that values her talent instead of twisting every facial expression, every word, every reaction into some moral lesson about knowing your place. Because here's the truth, Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. She's the mirror, and a lot of people just can't handle what they see in the reflection.